Welcome back to Trove One, everybody. Today we're going to work on the Suburban. And guess what? We are adding more lights because you can't have enough lights. Actually, I'm really excited about these lights. These are from Novsight, as most of our recent lights have been. And I'm really excited about these because these are going to fill a role that I've needed for a long time. As you have probably seen, if you've been following along, we have plenty of lights on the front of the vehicle. We have lights galore, but what we don't have is any lights on the side of the vehicle and any lights on the back of the vehicle, which is a problem. I can't tell you how many times we've been down a dirt road and I'm trying to back up, especially with the camper, trying to get out of somewhere tight, and I'm relying on my backup lights on this and the factory backup lights on the camper, and I just cannot see anything, and it drives me crazy. It's very frustrating. I can put the camper about anywhere I need to put it if I can see. If I can't see, it's very hard to back it up. So we're adding some lights. We have 6 of these from Novsight. I hear a helicopter. We'll be right back. All right, helicopter's gone. As I was saying, we got these lights. So these are a multi-function light like a lot of others. They have the main white up here on top, and down here on the bottom you kind of see the amber color. These have an amber it's got 2 different brightness settings. It's got a dim and then a brighter. So these are actually designed, this one has amber lights, but they also have one with red lights. These are designed to act kind of as a third brake, which we have one up here. So say you have a Jeep or something, you can put this up on top of your spare tire, give you extra reverse light, and give you brake and running light. So it's designed as a brake and running light. These are the amber version, but they also have a red if you want to utilize it as that. So I could just put one up here with brake and amber, or with red, and tie it into my backup and things like that. But I'm going to use these slightly differently because I like to use things slightly differently, and these are going to work perfectly for what I need. So we're going to put 2 of these on each side and 2 of them on the back. I'm just going to use one of the existing bolts up here, probably like right in here, and just mount this up on the side. So I'll do one up here and one back here, same on the other side, and then we'll mount 2 to the back onto the extruded aluminum, just about like this. So they'll sit below the tent. You can see we got the tent off right now to make our wiring easier. So mount those up there, and then I'll just tie them into, I put these boxes up on the roof when we did the light bar. So I've got some boxes right here where we've got extra feeders already coming up here. So we got plenty of power up here. I just need to get the wiring harness to that box. So we're gonna bolt these up and start wiring them up, and we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. It's a really cool little light, and I think it's gonna work perfectly for what I need.
Oh, need that. Need that. You need what? You need this.
All right, when we open these up, you got your warranty activation information there. They got a nice foam piece holding them in place. We've got the light, we got the mounting bracket, and Allen wrench and a bolt, and then we've got a short wiring harness that'll plug into the piece that's on here. So these are kind of designed to tap into something else, which is perfect for what we need. Y'all like this? Y'all like the light? Is that interesting? It's not edible. Hey, you can't eat cardboard. It's not good for you. So what we gotta do is take this little bracket and put these 2 bolts into it and bolt the bracket on. We gotta bolt them all on the same way. See how that one's bolted on? I'll bolt them all on the same direction. See how that's got a curve right there? So we need to bolt them all up just like that one is.
Where do I put it on?
Okay, take the Allen wrench off and thread it in with your fingers first.
This?
Yep.
Take this one?
Yep. To go as far as you can with your fingers before you try to use the wrench.
Okay.
Wrong way. Other way.
This?
Yep, that way. We've got them all on, so they're just bolted up. I gotta wire them up still, but I'm liking how they look. They don't stick out much. You can see my other lights here stick out just as far as those if you look down the rack. This one back here, definitely kind of the way the body curves, it's sticking out a little bit more, but it's not too bad. It probably will catch on some brush. We'll see how that impacts it. These in the back, they're upside down, but we got them mounted to the bottom because our tent actually sticks out back here a little bit and I didn't want it to interfere. This has got them tucked down. They're nice and protected, nice and low. So we just need to wire them up now. But it's dinner time, so I'm gonna go eat some supper. Then we'll probably be in the garage and we'll start getting some wiring so we can test these things out tonight. All right, time to start wiring. So we gotta get over to my box here. So I'm gonna use some 4 conductor like this right here. We're gonna splice this in. I'm just going to run around the perimeter of the roof rack and pick up all the lights. So I'm going to do both of the sides on one circuit, and then I'm going to do the reverse on another circuit, so I can hit side lights and reverse lights. That's how I already have it set up on my control panel. I just need to tie them in. I got a couple of them done. We got some heat shrink, got all our splices heat shrunk in there, tied together, and that'll get all 4 of our conductors up to the front. Still got to do splice these 2 to another one. That's my 2 back ones, and then tie in the front 2 over there. So this will take a little while, but I'll get there eventually. All right, guys, wiring is done. Yes, it's a little bit of a mess. It all makes sense if you know where it goes, but everything's wired up, so now we can test it. All right, here's our controller. So now we can hit the side, and we've got 2 side lights here. We're throwing a nice little pattern. There's some other lights out here, so it's not all of these. I'll get in a dark spot in a minute. And you can also see these 2 over here lit up, which is looking super good. I'll show you why this is makes such a big difference here in a minute. All right, turn those off. We'll hit our backup button, and now we've got our backup lights on. These are really nice, even, like fairly short distance floodlight. Perfect for a backup light without just being insane and unnecessary. Very well balanced. And then turn on this one, and this kicks on the amber. It also kicks on the amber on all the light bar ones up here at the front. So I'll put all those onto one circuit. So I'm running the bright mode of amber on this right now. I might swap this around later. I'm gonna see which one we like. If it's too bright, I'll switch it to the dim. But this is just a nice amber soft lighting, and I tied the back end and the side end. So I have 360 degrees of amber lighting. So this is like scene lighting at camp. It's not as bright on your eyes. It's a lower draw on the battery. It's not gonna attract bugs as bad as a white light. So it's just gonna be a nice little soft lighting at camp. And then we can pull as many of these covers off to get additional up front. I may alter that a little bit. I have one more slot that I'd like to use, but I don't have enough wires running up to the roof, so I might end up not doing that. I also have, I could use, which I'll have to figure out how to do this. I may swap the rear ones to using the dim lights, and then swap, if I could use the bright ambers, I could actually run those as chase lights, which are, if you don't know what a chase light is, people usually run them when you're running more in like convoys or groups, and it helps, especially if it's dusty or snowy, to have a flashing amber light back there, just so the person right behind you can see where you're at a little bit better. So a lot of people in the overlanding community run those. I'm not super worried about it because we don't do group trips very often. But if we were running two vehicles, Sarah was behind me, it's real dusty, or in the case like Rendezvous in the Ozarks or something where we may be running with a group. I know last year when we did that, it was super dusty, and that might be beneficial. So I might rig them up. I could definitely use the ambers for that. The bright ones would be pretty much perfect. But I'll have to add like one more set of wires to be able to split things off that way. So let's go test this out in a dark spot. All right, let's pretend I'm going down a road here. This is kind of narrow. There's woods on either side. Even if I turn on my ditch lights, they do fantastic. I can see there, but off to the sides, there's a little bit right here, but it's very dark off the sides. And I can switch on my sides, and boom. Now I can see what's going on. And then also, if I go into reverse, that's my regular reverse lights. Add in the others, boom. Now I can see the camper, I can see what's going on. Those actually put out a lot of light. I'm super happy with that. That is fantastic. Regular backup, new lights. So I can see off to the side now. I can see behind me. Oh, this is great. And of course, I can see in front of me. That's just the bumper lights. Ditch lights, bumper lights. Oh, this is fantastic. All right, let's test out the underbolt. Let's kind of see what that looks like. Boom. That is very nice. So, just like a nice, soft light. That is actually really perfect. I can see to walk around. I'm not getting blinded, but I could see to walk around and see what's on the ground here without stepping in a hole or something, or needing to have a headlamp, which always drives me crazy. There's a little bit of a dark spot right by the vehicle, just from the shadow of the vehicle, but it's not bad, especially on the sides. The back's a little bit worse because the lights are tucked in a little bit further, so a little bit more of a shadow, but this is gonna be very, very nice at camp to be able to flip on those lights, turn the vehicle off, and just have some scene lighting around camp. Super happy with these lights. They are exactly what I needed, and I'll show you what it looks like fully tomorrow when it's light outside, but I'm super happy with it. That ability to just see, I'll be able to see the camper, I'll be able to see the trees, I'll put fewer dents in the vehicle and the camper. It'll be fantastic. Well guys, I am super happy with these lights. I can't wait to get out and actually test them. I did kind of angle these back ones out a little bit to kind of get a little bit better dispersion off to the corner here. And that looked fantastic last night. So we should be good to go. I shouldn't need to do any more lights on the Suburban for a while. I think I've got all the lighting I need. We should be good. I will probably, if this works well, which I think it's going to work perfect, I'll probably do this exact same setup on the camper, maybe put a couple on the front of the camper too. And then we will be set on lighting. I'd have the same setup on the camper, be able to flip those on and just have 360 degrees of lighting. And I'll be able to see everything all the time whenever I need it, which is super nice, especially considering how frequently we are setting up camp in the dark. So that's all I got for today. Just adding a few lights. Super excited about them. I'll put a link to these lights down in the description, and there'll be a discount code as well if you want to get some lights from Novsight. I have been very, very happy with all the lights I've gotten from them. Those are from them, these are from them, and these big boys right here are my favorite lights ever. So that's all we got today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.